Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Street Trading coming at you with this week's weekly trade watch list for the the 15th through the 19th November, middle of the month, 2021. Let's get right into it. Looking at an hourly chart of SPY. So, we had a little bit of correction, a little pullback all last week that the boys broke that trend. Thursday, Friday session, pushing highs into the Friday's close. Not week's highs, but session high. The trend change highs, and you're going to see some probably more buying going into next week's session, and most likely, high probability, we're going to print more all-time highs, and that's how it goes after you see the buys. The boys stepping in at these levels to reverse these trends and start to push prices to the upside. So you're seeing it going into this week's session. It's a nice trend change to wrap up last week's session. So you already see where price wants to go. At the end of the day, when you see this, characteristic change in whether it's the benchmark, individual security, it puts it on watch. That's where the big boy step is start to build. So keep that in mind. When you are looking at positions that are changing the trend, the characteristics of price action are changing. This should put it on watch for you guys, because at the end of the day, this is where smart money is getting involved, guys. All right, this is textbook, rinse and repeat, supply demand trading. So let's get into this week's session. It was a very nice opportunity last week. To the downside, obviously, and the reversal as well. We obviously put up a weekly recap yesterday. Yesterday. So if you haven't had a look at that, go check that out. Went a little bit more deeper analysis for the week session and the week ahead as well. We've already said earlier. We really think that we're going to see some higher prices this week, possibly more all-time highs in ETF here. And it's looking strong as far as continued buying. We were talking about it since this kind of all month September pullback correction, aka whatever you want to call it. The boys stepped in the kickoff October trading and pushing highs one more time. So not one more time, just another time. So we're feeling very high probability. Everybody's seen the same thing, that 500 is going to get met probably at the same time around the end of the year, and there's going to be no coincidence around that. You know that. So you know where price wants to go. Ride the wave, guys. So going into this week's session, we got a decent list. We got like 11 or 12, I think, right now. And like we always talk about, we set our levels, we set our plan, set alerts on our charting software. If these alerts get triggered, we plan to get involved, and then we put on risk. If these alerts don't get triggered, we don't put on risk, and we're wrong. Big deal, does not matter. So let's get into our plan for the week ahead, kicking off the 15th, and let's talk some if this and that scenarios, guys. All right, let's go. Alright, boom. So there you go. We see all-time highs appear at that 470 and change, call it 471, close to the high of the day on this trend change. We're really liking this trend change setup that we've been seeing quite often. So we're going to have a little more of that this week. So let's just get into what we are liking, what we are seeing for this week ahead. ARRY, we got a 31 price target, big move to the upside on Friday session, close to the high of the day. Really like what we saw there. There's clearly a lot of supply up here at this 31. So it gives us a few more points to the upside. We're getting into the zone. The high of the zone is 31. But again, use this level. Use Friday's Friday's highs as support. Let it get taken out. All right, don't get caught in any bullshit around here. Let it get taken out. Base out a little bit. You can base that out, and you got another 3.5 points to the upside. So keep an eye on that. ASAN, we really like this move to the upside. It's taken out. You had this big run up off of late September, early October lows. Consolidation all second half of October, all of November. We're seeing this kind of long term, slowly getting higher and higher. but it's not really ripping yet. It's building. This is, in our opinion, accumulation. There's a lot of volume. Look at the volume down here this whole month, the whole month and a half. We like it. It's already tried to break out here on the 9th. Pulled back, printed a higher low, trying to test it again. So more times the levels get tested, the weaker it gets. So we really think this thing is going to rip once it breaks. So we're looking at it. We like it. This could be a big move in our opinion. BKKT, trend break. We're waiting on it. We don't know. It could be this week, could be next week, could be completely wrong. We don't fucking know. But this is what we're looking at. This is the trend change right here. We needed to get above this 27 level, 28, call it. That gets taken out. You know where it wants to go. So we're just waiting on it. We're going to let it get taken out, let it hold. We're not going to get caught in any spring traps. Let it get taken out and base. Let it get taken out, pull back, retest the resistance, then support if it obviously takes down and holds. If it does, then the trend has changed and we can see a lot of opportunity to the upside. We like it. BROS brothers. So broke this trend, came back up, gapped above the trend, came back down, tested it, and this we were just talking about here. We want to see the same thing here. We want to see this come above, come back and test. So right now this is what's going on. It's testing this level, but it needs to start to put higher highs now. So if it starts to come down here and take out this low, then it was wrong and we were wrong and wrong. So we're not going to go higher anymore. But it's testing right now. Look at it. Look what it's testing. It's testing. We need to start seeing some buying. If we start to see some buying, start to trade up here in the high 66s, taking out the 67, then there's a very high probability we're going to start to trade up here. So keep an eye on that. DEN, same situation. Trend. We're talking about this channel break quite often. So we've been seeing it quite often lately. So that's why we like it. Same thing. We're not gonna get involved at all until it takes out the channel break. Until it takes out the highs of the 11th. Takes that out. Got a nice opportunity to the upside. FTCH, big move on Friday's session. Got a 51.50 price target close. More or less, not really to the high of the day, but to the highs, and we like that. So we will not get involved until 47, the highs of Friday's session gets taken out. So 47.5 gets taken out. We need to see that active support. We will only get involved if that gets taken out and holds. Mara, you guys already know, we love it. We like it. We trade it every day. Mara and Riot are obviously Riot's a little bit behind as far as the push to the upside. So we're liking Riot as well right now. But we like Mara obviously to 79.5 and 84. We see some buying continued to the upside because after this nice pullback, we see some strong buying into the sessions. All right. Nvta. So again, Nvta, you seen it got crushed obviously on Tuesday, and had that bounce on Wednesday, Thursday, closed to the high. Friday, it's kind of closing to the high. You see what's forming. Remember, this is an hourly chart. You see what's forming here, guys. All right, it's building that base. So we're looking for a breakout to the upside. This 24.16 is what? Previous support. Now it acts as resistance. It's not the gap down high, but it's a much stronger level of rejection, which aka is like a magnet now. So that's why we like 24.5. We're gonna get, sorry about that here. We're gonna change this up. Call it 24. Continuation. So we like it. That is what we're looking for. We're not really putting any kind of I'm gonna do this here. 1 second, guys. So this was kind of the line of the sand at 22.5, right? So not gonna say we'll start probably building a little bit if we start to see some buying up here. But again, if it starts to take out these lows from the 10th or 11th, then we're wrong, completely wrong. It's gonna bleed out some more, but we don't think that's the case. We need to see this hold. If it starts to hold around these low 22s and breaks above 22, we're going to get pretty big on this reversal to the upside. So we're just going to be patient with this one. PayPal, same kind of scenario as Nvta. We got a 220 price target. Obviously, you can see where the reversal was down here. We moved it down because 220 is an average. 210, 220, 230, 240. So it's kind of the same scenario as Nvta. Close of the high. It already took out this pivot high from the 9th and 10th and the 11th. So it took that out. It's holding. So it takes that 210 out and holds. very high probability we're going to change this trend. So Riot, just like Mara, it took out this high channel from the end of April for the first line of defense, holding above. That holds. We need to pull back and hold that support. We like the 55 to the upside. STNE, we really like this one as well. Pretty strong trend change to the upside. You can see from the middle of October. Pretty long pullback. So the boys look like they're starting to buy here. But again, be careful. You don't want to catch a falling knife. But the trend has changed. It changed here for a moment, but slammed back down. So don't get it twisted. It needs to hold this new high. Okay, it needs to hold this new high. So keep that in mind. Overall, if it starts to trade up here, pull back, and starts to print higher lows. Here, let's move this down a little bit. That's Friday's highs. So if it starts to print higher lows, then you can start to build in, confidently that you're going to start to see some higher prices. So wait. We like what we're seeing already. Good change in a Friday session. So we like that. So just keep that in mind. Any pullbacks, it needs to hold. If it starts to pull back here, if it holds on this trend, then that's even better, because then you have a fantastic risk reward as long as it stays above this trend line. And VMEO, last but not least, these guys just continue to get crushed. No support at all below. It's got an ATR 2.20, crushed on the 4th. Had a little bit of a bounce on the 5th, but now it's coming right back down again on the close on Friday session. So leads us to believe it's more selling. More guys are getting the fuck out. So at the end of the day, it's tough to say. This was kind of the line in the sand. This 26. What was the low, the previous all-time low? And that's acting as resistance now. So anything above that, actually you can have this one as well, because that's a pretty big line in the sand as well. Again, it could bleed out some more, guys. I mean, we always like these moves to the downside that continue to get bled out. So this is a dead cat bounce on the 4th, on the 5th and the 8th. And it's coming right back down again. That's a clean, classic dead cat bounce. No support below. This thing can fall much further. I don't know. They're getting crushed right now. So just that 2270, excuse us, that lows from the 8th, that gets taken out. Hey, put some risk on, guys. We will. Definitely we will. So as long as the volume's there. Because it actually traded almost a little bit less than double the average daily volume on Friday session. That's something to take into consideration. Anyway. But don't get caught in these spring traps. If it takes it out, make sure it holds as resistance. All right. So that's what we got for the week ahead. Again, patience, guys. Set your levels on all these here. Set pre-market highs and lows. If any session the pre-market high or pre-market low gets taken out, put some risk on. All right. Set the levels and be patient. Wait. All right. Just wait, guys. All right. All right, guys. Any questions? Book some time. Have a great week later.